Hey guys, James from the Research Revolution. The Russians are coming. Vladimir Putin's nuclear warships pictured steaming towards the English Channel as Royal Navy prepares to scramble fleet. The Russian fleet is believed to be planning military drills off Scottish coast before heading towards the Mediterranean. Yeah, drills. A fleet of Russian nuclear ships have been spotted steaming out of base, and they are heading for Britain. Vladimir Putin's policy of gunboat diplomacy continued as giant aircraft carrier and nuclear submarine were among 8 vessels snapped sailing past Norway yesterday. Russian Navy flagship and nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov is leading a group of 8 vessels towards the Syrian port of Tøwdrds. The ships are expected to pass through the English Channel, prompting the Royal Navy to prepare to scramble ships. The fearsome fleet is headed for Russia's Mediterranean base in Tøwdrds, Syria. But first, the ships are set to pass through the English Channel in the latest act of saber-rattling from Moscow. Royal Navy warships are being ready to intercept the fleet, which could pass within miles of the British coast. Russia's flagship aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov, was amongst the ships to depart from the Arctic port of Sereznunskov on Saturday. The 55,000-ton Colossus is traveling with the Podveliki battlecruiser, the Vice Admiral Kulufka destroyer, and large anti-submarine ships. The convoy was caught on camera by Norwegian spy planes on Monday. The fearsome fleet is even expected to conduct naval drills off the coast of Scotland during the journey towards the Mediterranean. The ships were pictured leaving their Russian base at the weekend. In addition to safeguarding maritime navigation, the ships are meant to respond to new types of modern threats like piracy and international terrorism. The fleet is expected to carry out drills north of Scotland before sailing just miles from the English coast. The NATO naval source said to The Telegraph, "It's not catching us by surprise. We are working up what to do, and we are all over it. The most likely thing is that they will go through the North Sea, down the Dover Strait, and through the Channel. They might even stop off northeast coast to fly for a bit." It is not the first time the Royal Navy has been called into action to escort on the ships. HMS York shadows the Admiral Kuznetsov here in 2011. The move is the latest piece of saber-rattling from Moscow, led by President Vladimir Putin. The show of strength is the latest act of defiance from Moscow in the face of Western pressure over its bombing campaign in Syria. Earlier this month, Russian bombers went on a run around Western Europe, forcing the air forces of 4 NATO members to scramble their fighter jets. President Putin has been supporting embattled Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad with airstrikes. The bombing of an aid convoy last month saw a fragile ceasefire disintegrate and put even greater strain on relations between the US and Moscow. Neighbor Turkey warned yesterday that Syria could become a proxy war for the two superpowers as they pile weapons and advisors into the Middle East. This is getting a little bit unnerving, especially on the West Coast. Now, this is just my 2 cents, but I think that if Russia did attack American infrastructure, it would be military. So, my warning is to people on military bases and stuff like that, and I'm sure they're well aware. This has been James from the Research Revolution.